You mentioned she didn't have to essentially, there's depreciation recapture if she were to sell that building. Can you walk me through a little bit more how you're thinking about structuring that deal? Because, like, that's a really fascinating concept, her not having to repay that, in a certain structure. Would you walk us through that?
Yeah. Well, anytime you have that real estate and you depreciate your asset, um, when you go to sell it, the government's going to want to recapture that against the taxes, right? And then, you've got your basic capital gain and from what you're selling it for to what you bought it for. And because what we're trying to create is new and different in the area, we're trying to create a variety of housing within for all generations, not just for older seniors or for newcomers, but a blend of both. And because it's part of the mall, there's a great opportunity to feed a variety of generations of business into the mall. And it's a great thing for both sides to win that way. But in her case, she wouldn't have to repay the taxes that she's um, written off over the years on that cost segregation. I'm not 100% sure on how it works in the US, but I know that there are recapturing mechanisms for the government to get that money back out of you. And she's factored that into her sale price, of course, but really you're going to sell them, then you're going to have to pay it. Wouldn't it be nice not to have to pay it and not have to sell it? So I was working under the pretense of something that's been done here where I live, and the Bennett family here owns um, a chunk of land, and they have a strip mall on it, but they also have townhouses on it. And all of that townhouses, they're set up like a life lease, kind of like you would do on native land, a 99-year life lease. So they'll never own the property. They just pay a lease to live there. So they're getting the benefit of le getting into the market on lesser value, but you don't own the property, just to house it. And in that case, it turns out that that is just a commercial lease. Just like the regular part of the mall, your lease 3 years, 5 years, 10 years with a 10-year option, that kind of thing. Except for now, you're putting it together as a 99-year commercial lease in place for the strata, and the strata leases it out from them. And then you, as part of the strata, you own the inside four walls. You never own the outside four walls, anything outside of that. So it's actually a good way to go. Um, People can get into a market, especially where her mall is. Her mall's in a nicer part of town and great for residential, but it costs for people trying to get into the market in that neighborhood is expensive for them. And this gets them into the market in a nice neighborhood at a lesser cost. I hate saying the typical phrase, so I'm not going to say it, you know, but I say attainable housing that makes sense and is reasonable because there's no more affordable housing. It's a joke. You try and build something nowadays, and the costs are so extravagant that it's not affordable anymore. The only thing that's affordable would be rental and something that's subsidized somehow. So we want to make it so it's attainable. People can still have part of it, and they still own the inside four walls.